Hi, it's Todd here, and I've got a film for you today where I hang out with Joe Gibbs and we talk bows and we look at his workshop and he goes and shoots in the field. We talk about accuracy. We just hang out. Now, the intention was to use it as part of the fundraising drive for our Arrows vs. AvA2 film. But we've raised all the money. Thank you, guys. You are just amazing with that. Everything that we want to do in this block of filming, we can do. But right now, just enjoy the film. It's a nice one. Myself and Joe talking bows. Hi, it's Todd from Todd's Workshop, and I am here in Joe Gibbs's workshop.
Hiya.
The reason that I'm here is that 3 years ago, Joe and I made a film with some friends called Medieval Myth-Busting, Arrows vs. Armour. And we're back. And we're back bigger and stronger, and with definitely more armour. So we're doing the helmet. We're doing the helmet, the neck defences, the breastplate again. We're going to shoot the breastplate from the side. We're going to try and skid arrows up under the neck. We're going to put cameras inside the helmet so we can see the arrows coming into the face. We're doing all this stuff. And the idea behind this new film is that we take the most accurately made objects that we possibly can to do these tests with. Otherwise, it's just pointless. And part of that, not that he is an object, is Joe Gibbs. We've got to get it right. So Joe is a phenomenal archer, but also he's a phenomenal bowyer with Hillbilly Bows as your company.
Yeah.
We're going to have the best bows and the best archer we can with the best kit to do this job. So that's why we're here. So Joe, tell us about this bow.
So it's the same bow we used in the first video. So it's 160 pounds at 30 inches.
I mean, that's just monster.
Yeah.
For me, it's monster. For you, it's...
It is a big bow. Made of Swiss yew. So we know you need a certain amount of draw weight to get, you know, a 75, 80 gram arrow, which is 1,200 grains.
Right.
To be moving fast enough to do any damage. Our only reference is the bows off the Mary Rose.
It is such a shame that that's all we've got, but it's all we've got.
Exactly, it's all we've got.
So this is the same kind of grain ring count, same kind of density of wood, so it should be giving the same kind of performance numbers, and that's as good as we can be.
That's as good as we can be, you know, like you say. It's not one of the biggest bows off the ship for dimensions. You know, I've looked at all of the bows, and they're bows from around £100 right up to really big numbers, 180 plus, you know.
God, the guy who was shooting the 100-pounder must have felt so inadequate.
Yeah.
So I've made a few bows, Joe, and I'm not brilliant at it, and certainly nothing like this. So how long have you been doing it?
I can remember as a really small child sort of cutting some hazel out of the thing and putting some binder twine on it and doing that. But making sort of actual bows, self-yew bows, since I was 14, so
really?
20...
Self-yew at 14?
Yeah, 20-something years, you know.
Wow.
So a long time.
Yeah.
A lot of mistakes over the years, but that's how you learn, isn't it?
It is, yeah. But it still must hurt when you blow up a 400-pound piece of wood.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
But what I'm loving about your bench here is, I know we've got a few power tools here, but chatting to you, you don't use them that much.
Not for self-yew bows,
but no. I'm just looking, you know, you've got an adze, you've got plane, spoke shave, side axe, rasps. They're medieval tools.
Yeah.
You know, a Roman would know this stuff.
Exactly. You don't need anything else for a self-yew bow. I don't even put lines down it. I may put a centre line on it just so I know where the centre is without having to remeasure it and stuff. But apart from that, it's all done by eye. You know, this isn't a particularly huge stave, but if you've got a really big stave and you draw a line on it, I don't know whether you've ever sawn a piece of wood before and then it moves.
Yeah.
But if you're slowly working it down with a plane or a draw knife or something, you can correct those mistakes before knots and faults in the wood are hidden.
Yeah.
So if you just cut through the bandsaw, you've just cut right through that problem issue area, and you can't fix it. Whereas if you're slowly planing it, you can there's an issue there. I can work around that, or leave some wood there, or do something. You know. Yeah.
That explains everything. The reason that you are working like a medieval craftsman is that you have to work like a medieval.
It's the best way.
Craftsman. Yeah.
It's the best way to, you know, these staves are rare. They're hard to get hold of. They're not. Even in medieval times, it was still hard to get a nice piece of wood. Expensive, you know. Well,
I mean, that's interesting, actually, because my understanding of it is that the wood that was generally used for English longbows was not from England, you know, the yew, that it was imported. So there was lots of laws about if you import wine and things, you have to bring in bow staves and all that kind of stuff, because the wood wasn't available in quality and quantity from this country.
Not from England, no.
I mean... Can you make a decent bow out of English yew?
You can do. I've made really good English yew bows. The trouble is, there's not that much yew around, so you know, in all areas of the world you get good yew and bad yew, but somewhere that's got a lot of yew, the percentage of good yew is obviously going to be a lot higher, so that's why no one really bothers with English yew. To cut down 10 yew trees and they'll all be rubbish.
Yeah.
Somewhere where they a lot more yew trees, you know, your selection is going to be higher.
Yeah, and the rest just becomes firewood or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
So what is it you look for when you're selecting a piece of wood to make a £140 bow?
Well, what I like to do is, instead of going, I've got a piece of wood here, I'm going to force this piece of wood to make a £150 bow. But it might not be any good for that piece of wood. So
But you'll only find that out once you're in it?
Once you're starting to work it down. So I've got, you know, a few bows in storage that I've started to work and gone, that is not going to make that bow. And there's no point in forcing a high draw weight bow out of a piece of wood that's just not going to make it.
Yeah.
It just make a rubbish bow. And vice versa, there's no point making a £100 bow out of a piece of wood that could make a £160 bow. You've just wasted that wood.
So do you just sort of part work it and then put a note on it?
Yeah, that's how you get the best bows, is not trying to force the bow out of the piece of wood.
Yeah. That piece of wood there, I mean, to me, OK, there's a couple of little pins in it, but fundamentally that looks like a fantastic piece of yew. How does that compare with the bows that you saw in the Mary Rose? I mean, better quality, same quality, less?
No, pretty much same quality. They're all fairly high ring count, you know, obviously it varies a bit.
So dense timber.
Yeah, really. Some of them were really high, some of them were medium, but yeah, this one's probably got 50, 60 rings to the inch. It has a few knots in it, but that's no big deal. It's yew. Yew is always, it's just one of them woods. But basically what you're looking for is clean sapwood, straight, and a high ring count, or as high as you can get.
So with the Mary Rose, were any of the bows particularly notable where you would say to yourself, I'd never have tried that? You know, I wouldn't have made a bow out of that bit of wood.
No.
They were all good.
All good bits of wood, yeah.
OK, so you've got your bow stave here. Now, some of the people who are watching this know exactly how that becomes a bow. Other people have got no idea at all. Give us your 30-second version of how you make a bow. OK,
so basically, I'll get the stave, look down it, measure the centre, put a centre line across it, and then in my head I can look down that and know what taper it needs to make a bow. I'll, you know, start off with a side axe, and that.
So pretty brutal.
Yeah, just to take the real big meat off, and then probably go with the plane, you know, just to flatten everything up a bit.
Yeah.
For the belly, you've got your lovely tool.
I love that tool.
Perfect for just chipping away at the belly, you know, all the way down.
Again, just all by eye.
All by eye, yeah.
And do you put any flex on it by this point?
No.
Just all by eye.
No.
So you know that you're going to have something that's kind of about on the way.
Yeah.
But it's not a bow. It's kind of bowish.
Yeah.
And then you have to tiller it.
It resembles a bow, yeah.
Yeah, it resembles a bow. It's interesting to see what you're looking for as you tiller it. How you turn that now crudely shaped bit of wood, kind of bowish, into something which bends and shoots and doesn't break.
Yeah, so the first stages of tillering are really critical in a heavy bow.
So, I mean, it is extreme patience, really, it sounds like to me, from the beginning.
Yeah.
Because I want to get on the power tools.
Exactly. Yeah.
But you can't.
No, you can't. The only power tool I use is a drill driver to drill the hole up the horn knock.
Right.
Apart from that, that's
I'll let you get away with that. Could you just show us the basic, what you're looking for when you tiller something? Because I'm always fascinated by that process. So tillering is when you take the bow and you start to bend it. And you look at the shapes and the curves of the bow and you decide where to take material off and where you leave material. But yeah, talk us through it, Joe.
Yeah, so I've got a few bows. We chuck one up there and see what it's like.
Right. So you've got a roughed out bow on your tillering jig here. And then a long cable. What's going on?
Yeah, so the idea is you stand sort of 8-10 feet away, minimum really, so you can see the whole bow, see what's going on.
So you've got to see the whole curvature, the way the whole piece of timber is curving.
Basically, yeah. So, you know, difficulties like this is slightly reflexed here. So obviously that's going to be, earlier on, that's going to be a lot stiffer than this deflex limb. I don't know whether you can see this.
So that one's curving down and that one's curving up.
Exactly. So, you know, this is a really hard bow to tiller, something like this.
Got some nasty knots down there.
It has got some nasty knots. A piece of Italian yew. At first, I'd only be pulling it to like here to see what's going on. For a sort of like a first bend,
Yeah.
it's actually looking all right. You know, there's no good pulling it down once and having a look, because you need to see the wood moving.
Yeah.
So you got to keep moving it.
You kind of end up feeling it as well.
Yep.
And so let's just say that it's too stiff in this area.
Yep.
You're going to do what? You're going to scrape away a little bit of wood?
I'll take the thing out of the tiller in the vise, go over it with the scraper. If it's not that much, if it's looking really stiff, then I'll probably get the rasp on it and then put it back in there.
Tiny bits.
Tiny bits.
Patience.
Yeah, and then give it, you know, work it for a bit.
Yeah. So, I mean, the bow you're going to be shooting for us against the helmet, how long does it take to make a bow like that?
It's probably like 3 or 4 days.
Right.
From start to finish.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 days.
If you're anything like me with my work, sometimes a piece will just fight you all the way, other times it just flows and it's just easy.
Yeah, some bows can be pigs, just do not want to be tillered.
Yeah.
They will fight you right up to the last point. And some, almost like this one actually, is looking pretty good straight away. You could spend, you know, a day tillering one and an hour tillering the next one.
Right.
So.
And you don't know until it's on the tiller?
No, you don't know until you start tillering it.
Right, so we found out a little bit about how you make the bows. Should we go and see you shoot?
Yeah.
Let's see if you're up to it, Joe.
Let's go.
Well, here we are in a bit of beautiful Dorset countryside, and we've got Joe and a bow, and we've got a night target. Now, he has got the vulnerable areas highlighted in red, so that the face, he's got his visor up, around the neck, armpits, groin. So that's all the places which Joe, as an archer, is going to want to be hitting. 25 metres, what do you think?
I reckon it should be pretty okay. I'll probably mainly be aiming for his breastplate, just because you'd probably get some of the weak points anyway from aiming from that. I'll give it a good go.
So, I mean, not every arrow is going to do it.
No, not every arrow, but, you know, if I did 6 arrows, I should be able to get him in some vulnerable areas.
Yeah, and I guess if you don't, your friends will.
That's it, exactly, yeah.
You're not alone.
So, visor up, if there's 5 of you shooting at him, one of you is definitely going to get him in the face.
Yeah. Let's watch you shoot, Joe,
Let's go.
because it's a good thing to see.
Yep.
Good luck. Nice. Should we see what you got?
Let's go.
So here we are with our guy. No warm-up. I mean, that is just as impressive as heck. So we didn't get him in the face. That's the first thing that we can see. But that's a strike on the helmet, and that would be interesting to know how loud that would have been. But like we said, you didn't, but one of your friends would have done. That one, that's going to be trouble. That's going to be big trouble, because now that is either just above the breastplate, certainly above the V.
Yeah.
Maybe it's enough to skid up and under his neck. Don't know. Those two, though, absolute dead certs.
Yeah, right in the armpit.
Right there. So that's his left arm, if not out, definitely in a lot of trouble. I mean, that's shoulder joint area.
Yeah.
That one we know is not going to do anything, because we saw that in the last film.
Yeah, that's right.
That's obviously a miss, and that is, well, might make him a bit deaf and certainly very worried. So out of those 6 shots, you have got 3 which are definitely danger. One a complete miss, the other one an annoyance, and that one is more of an annoyance.
Knock him about a bit, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to make you nervous, because what he is worried about is arrows coming through those air vents or those eye slits.
And there's only one archer, isn't it? If you had, you know, another 6 archers, that's a lot of arrows.
Yeah. And he's had to already walk through 100 yards, 100 metres of this, or 200 metres of it. You know, good luck him.
Yes.
Right, well, I think you need to go again. So 50 metres, can you hit the guy?
Well, let's move him back and find out.
Why not?
Let's do it.
Out at 50 metres now. Not a target bow, obviously. Warbows, they're built for power, not accuracy. Can you?
Yeah, I reckon I can get a couple on him from here.
Yeah. Well, let's find out. I mean, going again cold, so do your thing.
Let's go.
Let's go see. Good stuff again, Joe. So, for me, again, this just illustrates two really important things. One, why we're going to be doing our filming and our testing at about 25 metres.
Yep.
Because it allows you much better control, obviously. Second thing is, it's all luck and chance, isn't it? Now, you had 2 misses, but of course he's got loads of people all around him, behind him. Those arrows weren't wasted. But then look at that one. It's hit him on the inside of the gauntlet, just under the thumb there. Almost certainly no armour, or if there is, it's mail right close to the skin. He's lost his thumb. Lucky shot.
Yeah.
But the other thing actually about this one, of course, is it's not very far from another danger zone, you know? Brilliant.
Well, you've got to remember, so him walking forwards, he's just getting hit constantly with just odd arrows. The mental aspect of walking into arrows must be
absolutely
crazy.
Because it might not penetrate, but you've only got the word of the armourer that your armour's good steel. You know, you can't tell how good your armour is until somebody starts sticking arrows in it.
Until you've got one, yeah.
Well, thanks, Joe. I mean, just great to see you shoot every single time. But what I'd love to do is see you do some long stuff too. So can we just go for some full distance shooting?
Definitely, let's go.
Lovely. Right, let's see you shoot for distance. Take it away.
Let's go.
And down. Goodness.
I didn't follow that one.
I did. And down. They are up for a long time. And those are big arrows.
Yeah. 1/2 inch bobtail down to 3/8.
Down. So Joe, before you do that, next challenge, only just thought of this. Can you get 2 in the air at the same time?
I can give it a go.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Try.
It's a big bow mind.
Yeah. It's all right, it's you doing it, not me, I don't mind.
Okay, ready?
Yeah, easy. So first one's down. You could have got a third off, actually.
Just about, maybe.
Yeah, just about, but yeah. Oh, brilliant, Joe. Really good. So let's go see how far they went.
Let's have a look.
And call it a day after that.
Yep.
That was great to see, Joe, especially like the 2 arrows in the air. But you ever done that before?
Never done that before, no.
You can do it again?
Well, maybe, yeah. Give it a go.
But anyway, what we all want to know is, we're shooting 273 yards, 245 metres. And for such big bits of wood, you know, that's a good distance.
You know, they're not flight arrows or anything. They're
No.
heavy 70-gram arrows.
Yeah.
You know, they pack a punch when they hit still at this range, so...
And that is what we want to find out in a few weeks' time.
Yep.
So we're going to see this for real. Come and join us. Helmet, Joe Gibbs, bow. Let's make it happen, guys. Check the notes out. Come and donate. Joe, pleasure as ever.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed Joe and I just hanging out, really. But remember, it is not a fundraising film. That's what its intention was, wasn't needed. Couldn't really edit it out and leave a good film. So just ignore it. We've got all the money we want for the stretch goals and the main film itself. So thank you very much. You have been amazing. See you another time.